Alright, so let's take a look at this Glycine Combat 36. So I did take the liberty of removing the packaging and the tape, and opening the tape and all that stuff just to save you guys a little bit of time. It's pretty straightforward outer box, white logo. You can see the paperwork and stuff on the inside of the front cover there. Typical foam paper and paper protecting the inner box. Get this out of here. It does have kind of a tonal foil logo at the top there. There's not much else going on in the inner box. Let's take a look at the watch. And there it is. So I did get the blue dial variant on this one. Look on the inside of the box too. This has two different dial colors that's available in. It is a blue dial and a black dial version. Let's get it off of this sleeve. Does feature a Jubilee style bracelet with a double deployment clasp. Really nice finishing on the bracelet. Initial impression is very good, and the dial looks great as well. It does have a triple AR coated sapphire crystal, a really nice dome to the crystal as well. And there's a case. Case profile actually reminds me of the Seiko Seri series. If you guys remember my review on that, the Seri 57. Definitely a lot smaller, you know, at 36 millimeters as opposed to I think 41 or 42, but very similar. Fast forward through all the removable here, just so save a little bit of time, and we'll give a look on the wrist. There's my Hamilton Field Khaki 38. And what's really interesting to me is this Glycine 36 doesn't look much smaller on the wrist, if at all. It actually looks about the same size on the wrist as the Hamilton 38. And actually the dial on this Glycine looks bigger than the dial on the Hamilton Field Khaki. And I think that's because the bezel here is a lot thinner, so you just have more dial in the case, if that makes sense. Nice look at that sapphire crystal again, and that dial definitely reminds me a lot of a Datejust. Does have screened index markers instead of applied index markers there, so a little bit more in the field watch realm as far as the dial goes. There's a better look right there, a little bit of a close-up. Really nice build here though. You got a 316L stainless case and bracelet. Nice combination of brushed and polished on the bracelet. You can see with that double deployment clasp. It gives it kind of almost like a dressy look with that kind of just a nice clean dial. I really like it. The date there at 3 o'clock, just a nice simple minute track. Nice clean handset. And of course a really good movement with the ETA 2824. So there's a lot to like on this watch. I think it is a good value for the money. You can grab these for $400 I think on Nauman right now. So really nice stuff. Give you a closer look at the dial and the logo. Really not a lot of signing on the dial either. There's your crown. You can see it does have a signed crown as well. It is a push-pull, unfortunately. It's not a screw down. That's the only drawback to me, is that it does not have a push-pull crown. There's your end links. Nice job on the end links as far as matching everything goes, and really nice finishing throughout as well on the case everywhere and on the bracelet. Really nothing to complain about on the finishing at all. Give you a closer look at the bracelet here in just a second. There's the inside of your bracelet. You can see it's scalloped and a nice combination of brushed and polished, and everything's chamfered off as well, just so no arm hairs catch or anything like that. And there's a closer look at the dial. That's it for this one, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be back with another episode soon. If you like our content, please do remember to hit subscribe and that notification bell.